Hello and welcome to the State of the Fleet Industry, a weekly video series produced by Automotive Fleet magazine and which is sponsored by Enterprise Fleet Management. I'm Mike Antich, editor of Automotive Fleet, and today I'd like to examine what's occurring in the fleet industry for the week of July 19th, 2021. And if there's a truism in the fleet industry, it's that everything in fleet management revolves around money. And if you remember the movie All the President's Men, which chronicled the uncovering of the Watergate scandal in the early 1970s, the key informant was a person known as Deep Throat, and his advice to the newspaper reporter was to follow the money, which was good advice. And likewise, we can use the same follow the money strategy in discerning fleet trends. So think about it. You have asset acquisition. So let's follow the money. What's going on there? Well, these prices are trending upward and fleet incentive dollars are trending downward. Fuel. You need to buy fuel to operate assets. What's going on when we follow the money? Well, these prices are also trending upward. In fact, gasoline prices are at a 7-year high. And tires wear out. You need to buy replacement tires. These prices are likewise trending upward due to rising commodity prices. And you have to spend money on maintenance to keep assets operational. And while maintenance costs are flat due to longer PM intervals, there are increased soft costs nowadays. And due to the ongoing parts shortage, repair times are increasing for some vehicles that are idle at repair facilities waiting for components that are on back order. Plus, due to the difficulty in getting replacement vehicles in the 2021 model year, some fleets have been forced to extend the service life of vehicles, which has driven up costs for both preventative and unscheduled maintenance expenses. And then finally, there's a miscellaneous category known as incidental expenses, or which I call the category of death by 1,000 cuts. You know, there are a myriad of miscellaneous incidental expenses that range from tolls, parking tickets, waste disposal fees, taxes, etc., all of which are trending upwards. So consequently, since everything in fleet revolves around money, cost management is a never-ending struggle for fleet managers because there never seems to be enough money to go around. In fact, who of you out there feel that you have too much money in your fleet budget? And I'm sure the answer is no one. Not only are budgets flat, but company management is continually demanding reduction in fleet expenses year after year after year, which is tough to do. And to no one's surprise, at least who's watching this video, expenses to operate a fleet are starting to increase in many different areas. And here's an anecdotal example from one fleet manager who recently emailed me about the higher costs that he's encountering in doing business today, as demonstrated by this one routine occurrence. So here's his quote. "I have a truck that was involved in an accident. We got a repair quote of $13,509. The accident happened on June 10th. However, the body shop will not be able to fully repair the vehicle until the end of August," end of quote. And then the fleet manager goes on to say, quote, "In the meantime, I have to rent a truck at a cost of $3,500 per month. So by the time I get the damaged truck back, this repair will have cost $24,000, namely the $13,509 to repair the truck, and now the additional $10,500 for the rental," end of quote. Plus, the shortage of microchips is impacting many different areas in accident management, one of which is when vehicles are involved in an accident, especially when the needed replacement component contains these microchips, there's often delays. So when this does occur, it ultimately lengthens the repair, it increases the total cost of downtime, and delays the vehicle's re-entry into fleet service. And let's talk about another example that I just recently received from another fleet manager that kind of follows this strategy of following the money to discerning trends. So this example illustrates what's occurring today for some fleet managers when they try to buy a replacement vehicle out of dealer stock. So this one fleet manager emailed me to show me how his expenses are increasing in this area. So here's the quote. "Because of the low inventory of new vehicles, dealers are now adding markups above MSRP ranging from $3,000 to $5,000 depending on the vehicle. So for all intents and purposes, the vehicle markup negates the fleet incentive. And when you need a vehicle ASAP, you get it regardless of the price. The markup is the equivalent of a 2-month rental. Neither one is a good choice for me, but I'd rather pay the markup than pay for the rental. And here's another example from another fleet manager that I've heard. When dealers about dealers wanting to take the fleet discount off of MSRP versus the dealer invoice. And by doing this, again, as with the preceding comment, this for all intents and purposes negates the fleet incentive. So in the larger scheme of things, supply and demand is cyclical. Today it's definitely a seller's market. Tomorrow it may very well be a buyer's market. And invariably what goes around comes around. So with this final observation, I'd like to conclude my State of the Fleet Industry presentation for the week of July 19, 2021. And I'd like to thank you for listening.